Colonel, can you tell us a little bit more about Our Country, Our Choice? You're the CEO, and what is this organization all about?
Well, you can find it on the internet. It's ourcountryourchoice.com. I would encourage your listeners to go and look at the website. That will tell you a great deal. I am not a founder. I was asked to come in and do this job, and I looked at it and I decided that, yes, it needs to be done because the people that founded it and are building this organization, which is designed to support a nationwide movement, are determined to unite Americans across party lines. Now, people say, well, that's impossible. No, it isn't. It's not impossible at all. Americans share a lot of values and they agree on lots of things. We just never hear about it. Americans want an end to these overseas interventions, unquestionably. Americans want their borders defended. They want the illegals expelled, and they want the rule of law restored. They want the criminality to end. They don't like the sexualization of their children. They're appalled. They want that to stop. They want financial integrity. In other words, they want a system that works, and they recognize that there will be pain involved with that. And then finally, they want electoral integrity, which we don't have right now. So those are things on which we can agree, and those are the cornerstones of the edifice that we're trying to build. And we're trying to say, stop the Republican versus Democrat nonsense. If you look at the last 30 years, what's the difference? You know, we walk in and we vote against these same things and nothing changes. So I think there's real potential there for something positive to emerge in our country. And we're getting a lot of inquiries from Europe and as far away as India, who are saying we want similar chapters. People are tired of being divided, tired of being encouraged to hate. And we have a big problem with that politically in our country. We want to pull together Americans, American citizens, people who are first and foremost Americans and believe in their country. And that's what it's all about. We want to save this country. We're tired of watching it deteriorate and fail.
You know, Colonel, I ran to be mayor of London in 2021, spent about 7 months campaigning as an independent because I was tired of watching the city that I love and live in being run into the ground. And I got an education that it's very hard to break a two-party system because it's a bit like two corporations that are there to survive and grow and take as much money as possible and control things. And it becomes less about the city, less about the candidates, and it just becomes a kind of a power struggle that really doesn't have anything to do with the good of the city or the citizens' choice. So I kind of understand what you're talking about here. These things get so powerful that they actually trump everything around them, including the policies themselves and the actions themselves. Do you think that this will lead to the abolishment of the two-party system?
No. But what I think you're going to see is something similar to 1861. And what I'm talking about is we're in a national crisis, much as we were then. Americans feel that. And it's not going to get any better over the next several months. And the worse it gets, and I predicted it will get very bad, certainly on the economic side. People have to put food on the table. Everybody says, well, it's inflation. It's more than that. We're watching the distribution systems, which work brilliantly in this country, deteriorate. We're watching the delivery of services vanish. We're watching crime run out of control. We haven't faced this kind of thing. It's an existential crisis for us. The war we need to win is the war for our future, which is here at home, not in the Middle East and not in Eastern Europe. And I think Americans are coming around to understanding that, believing that. So I do think there is a chance for this third way, if you will, to triumph. I'm not saying it's going to happen instantly or it's going to be easy, but there's a lot of discontent with the old structures, the old ways of doing business. And we Americans are different. We can suddenly turn on a dime in ways that most people in the world don't understand. And somebody said, well, what are the Americans really like? I said, well, we're halfway between the Germans and the French. We can suddenly become revolutionary like the French, but we're also very wedded to the rule of law, like the Germans. Lenin said, the Germans are hopeless. How can you have a revolution with Germans? They all go to the train station, buy a ticket to get on the train and ride to the revolution. He said, Russians, knock over the railroad station, kill the engineer, take over the train, and ride to the revolution. He said Germans are hopeless. Well, we're not quite hopeless, but we're like that until it becomes clear there's no alternative. So I think we can see a blend of the best of both French and Germans and see real anger manifest itself in positive change. Anyway, that's the hope. Not violent. We don't want a guillotine sitting in downtown Washington. That's not the goal. But we can still have real fundamental change and then enforce the law.
I read some study that said recently, Colonel, that whether you were a Democrat or a Republican, that most of the people that identified that also agreed with, say, 90% of the policies on that ticket. And I think the point of that study was just to show that statistically that's so improbable, which means that once you kind of get branded red or blue, you end to take on this identity where you end up arguing for the policies without ever having thought them through. And so, say, take a Democrat, they're all of a sudden they're for climate change and they're for abortion and they're for all these things, but yet they've never actually thought through those concepts. And because of our social media, it gets reinforced. But if you really strip all that away, you could probably find that these people have real opinions. They have common ground with each other. And it seems in some ways this two-party system kind of gets people to stop thinking and then identifies these two groups and then fight with each other when in fact that's not really in anyone's interest. I don't know if that makes sense, but...
Hey, listen, I think that's a brilliant summation, and I think you're absolutely right. But I think we can break through that. If I didn't believe that, I wouldn't have taken the job.
Yeah. Well, I think it'd be amazing. I'm on the website right now. It's ourcountry.ourchoice.com. And I've all for this. This is a fantastic idea, and I hope we adopt it here in Britain as well. Colonel, I appreciate your thoughts on this global situation. I spent a good 25 years living in America, and I can agree with what you said. When you're in America, at least when I was there in the 80s and the 90s and the noughties, it's a place that's very America focused. People used to joke that most Americans don't have passports. It's because we focus on our commerce. We focus on everything that's between our two coasts. And over there is over there. And at the end of the day, we don't really care or can place on the map where Afghanistan is or Ukraine is or these other places. We want our system to work. We believe in promoting the country and the commercialism. And so many people have really showed that. And with these terrible withdrawals out of Afghanistan and all these other questions, it would be great for America and the government to align back to what those citizens really want. And I hope we see that going forward.
So do I.
Yeah. Colonel, thank you for coming on. I really wanted to get your take on this situation in the Middle East. And as always, you give us a great unfiltered look into what looks like some realities on the ground. I hope someone's out there is listening. I hope someone can have a conversation with the Ukrainians, or at least do what they have to do there, and with the Israelis, to where these things stop happening. Because if they continue, there's going to be some problems and mistakes. And with nuclear armed countries, we only need one of those, and it's a terrible conclusion. So thank you, Colonel. Look forward to our next conversation.
Thank you.
All right.
All the best.
We appreciate you. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on London Real. Take care. Bye. So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, do you want to profit from crypto? Then join my DeFi Academy. The Crypto DeFi Academy will help you create generational wealth. But don't take my word for it. Listen to my students.
When I first got into crypto, I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn more. Brian Rose, learning crypto, learning DeFi, gotta do it.
I am so grateful that I jumped in and did this. I had to break through some limiting beliefs that I can do this, that I can afford this, that I can be in this.
It challenges the things that are deeply rooted within us.
Joining DeFi Academy has been one of the best decisions I have made on my blockchain journey.
This course was a life changer, a game changer, a huge eye-opener, coming from knowing practically nothing at the speed of the learning over 4 weeks was just fantastic.
The information you provided in this class was invaluable.
I feel far more confident in my next steps.
You took complex concepts and made them easier to understand.
What's different than so many other ones is it just doesn't tell you what to do. It actually makes you do it.
This is for people who are serious about becoming traders. This is the way it should be done.
I realized from this learning experience again that it is not about what you learn, but about who you learn it from.
The energy was insane. I've never experienced such incredible energy on a live call. Brian Rose, you are a legend, my friend.
It's the only thing in the market where you can get all information and learn everything what you need to know.
Everything is so clear and so well done, and I'm just forever grateful for this program.
It made me feel so much more confident about crypto than I did before.
I did not anticipate how passionate I was going to become about it.
It's also been like a big learning experience for me, not just in the crypto space, but just in overall balance of life.
What I've learned is, how to take ownership, of my life in a way that I really hadn't before.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that, really.
I would recommend it to anybody, top notch.
Excellence does not come cheap. So if you want excellence, you got to pay for it, but it's so worth it.
Pull the trigger. That's what this course is about.
You're not going to regret it, really. It's amazing.
Thank you, Brian and team.
So what are you waiting for? Crypto is happening now. Click the link below, submit your application, and let me mentor you on how to create generational wealth and build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future.